Hey Farm Talk, here's the full video from working heifers yesterday. Only sped up, of course. Before we get started, get everything ready on the scale. That's Datamar's ID 5000. We're going to be getting weights on everything just to see how they did while they were out on grass before weaning. Originally, we weren't planning on doing this today, so I didn't have a chance to do much of any prep work, so the batteries and the scale weren't charged, so I've got a bunch of extra cords laying around. Hadn't had a chance to make sure that all the dispensers were working properly. So I've got extra cords hanging where I don't want them to be, but just made it work. That Synanthic internal dewormer dispenser was the absolute bane of my existence when we got started. It did not want to work. First the handle was plugged up, and then I couldn't get anything to come out the end. The end was all plugged up. I thought I had it cleaned out well the last time. Apparently I didn't. So unfortunately, I had to spend quite a bit of time trying to get that thing unplugged, and I didn't notice it behind me. I didn't have the chute squeeze tight enough, and that dang heifer kind of got turned sideways and got one of her hooves stuck up in the air. You see here, I finally noticed it and got her reoriented properly. Then I went and got a pick and cleaned out the end of that nozzle and finally got it working again. Then I got everything adjusted, gave her dose, put the weaning insert in, and out the door the first one goes. And of course I forgot to put the front bar in behind her, and I'll forget to put it in behind this one as well. And that Synanthic dispenser was still causing a few little issues. Now on this one I decided to take my syringes over to the other side, that way I didn't have to try to navigate through all the cords and tubes hanging there. Just make things a little bit easier. Get this one out, and then decided to take the sternum bar out. The heifers are pretty big, but not quite big enough to warrant the use of the sternum bar. And one of the reasons I really like having scales, especially when, dosing things based on weight, is it ensures that I get exactly what they need. No more, no less, so no waste. Make sure they're getting the appropriate dosage. I finally remembered to get my rump bar and put it in here. That way it's easier to get them out. Aeroquip has a fantastic rump bar. It's made out of fiberglass, wrapped in heavy hose. It's lightweight, but still really strong to handle, even bulls pushing against it. Now I'm finally starting to get into my groove. Aunt Linda's up front, kind of helping out too. She's cutting out the old fly tags and double checking with their records. This is her and my uncle's herd, so she has kind of her own records on top of the ones that I keep as well. My dad and uncle are in the back by the crowding tub and the pens, just making sure that I get an uninterrupted stream of heifers coming through the chute. They worked really well. No hollering, no need for the hot shot, just a good, low-stress session. Now here's where I almost had a whoops moment. I just about missed that one, but was able to catch it right behind the front shoulders. One of the things I really like about that hydraulic swing arm is I can swing it around, stand in front of the calf, and release just enough pressure while also maintaining a point of pressure on their head to make them go backwards. So it worked perfect. Was able to catch her, move on like nothing happened. Now I've got a little life hack here for everyone who's trying to hang stuff off the side of their chute. Those are just coat hooks and other assorted hooks with neodymium magnets in them. Now those things will hold 100, 150 pounds, no problem. And you can move them just pretty much wherever you want to on the whole chute. It's super convenient because it just allows anyone to easily customize their working area to how they want to run the chute. Then all you need is just some, nylon straps or cable loops or whatever, and you can just hang them up there, no problem whatsoever. So everything's going really great now. We're in a good rhythm, just moving through real easy. Finally getting the hang of getting those nose inserts in real easy. And these heifers look great. The average weight over this whole group was 675 pounds. The biggest one was 770. She was a pretty hefty old gal. Now I move camera angles, that way you guys can see, the process from a little different perspective. You guys can see the manual head holder in action and see me, giving them their shots from this side. Now I really like that manual head holder. I'm not a big fan of the one side hydraulic sweep. I never really liked those. It just seems to really kind of push on their head too much. Whereas this manual holder, really easy to work with. You can take it apart, clean it, all that kind of good stuff. Now, they do have a new hydraulic neck extender that is quite nice, but for now, we'll just stick with our good old manual head holder. Aeroquip has a great vaccination access point right there. You can also drop down that tube as well. Plenty of room to work. Now, after this calf, going to go ahead and put it on the ground here. That way you can see the last heifer come through. So while we're working on this, my dad and my uncle are getting everything picked up and the door closed in the back. Then once we get the nose insert in, we'll be done for the day. Hope you all enjoyed this. As always, thanks for stopping by.